What's good? Welcome to First String Podcast. On today's episode of First String Podcast, we are supposed to have Chris Russell, the Rooster, joining us today. Um, however, the Rooster is MIA at this moment. Lady A is traveling back from ODU. Al's running late, and say it is somewhere in the Texas sun looking for a bottle of water. So right now, you got your boy Pick, and we will discuss the NFL schedule, the Wizards having the number one pick overall in the up and coming NBA draft, which is about a month away. And the schedule is going to be released on Thursday. So you will see us this Thursday live. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to get into it. Let's go. Welcome back to First String Podcast. Please do not hesitate. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit that bell to enable alert for new content just like this. The most important part, though, is that you tell a friend to tell a friend about First String Podcast. The more you know, the more people you tell, the more we grow. The reason we continue the show is because of you all. So, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. It's just you and I right now. So, get in that chat, communicate with me, let me know what's up. Lady A has a message for everyone. She said that this show will not be fined, so comment away. Do what you got to do in them comments right there. And when Al joins us, she said to make sure we tell Al this is a fine free show. And if Said joins us, that Said should wear his hat. I think I got these messages right. If I didn't, blame it on Lady A. It's not on me. It's not on me. Anyway, how was your Mother's Day weekend? I hope you had a chance to appreciate and love on the special women in your life, moms, wives, everybody. Corey started off. What up, Bruce Glass? Bruce Glass is first in the comments right there, as he always is. Good evening to everyone. Um, so first thing we're gonna get into is this, man. First thing we're gonna get into is the Wizards winning the NBA lottery. They have the first overall pick in the 2026, 27, whatever, whichever year it is, 26 NBA draft. And unlike last time when we had the number one pick, we got it a year early when we got Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry, we got it a year early. Kobe Bryant was the next year. We got Kwame Brown. This year we have a bunch of talented individuals that should be able to help this team out. The question is, will the front office choose the correct person to build and grow around and grow the hey, look at there. My man Russell is in the building. Hello, Chris. How are you?
What's up, Pick? Sorry about being late. I forgot to hit one button, and
No worries. No
and
worries. We
it
literally
didn't
just
allow
got
me
into
through.
it. We just got in. We just got into it just now, Chris, and we're talking. Um, the Wizards winning the NBA lottery, right? And I believe the last time the Wizards had the number one overall pick, we were probably well. Hold on. Was John Wall the number one pick?
Yeah,
Okay, the year
that was
before
yeah.
that, the last time we had it before that, we got Kwame Brown. We were a year early because the following year was Kobe Bean Bryant. So
And
we,
Kobe, if I'm not mistaken, because he was the first high school player to go, didn't he go? I want to say like 13th in the draft to Charlotte, and then a draft night trade to the Lakers, if I remember that correctly. Maybe it was 14th, somewhere in that range. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you're a year early, sometimes you're a year late.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think listen, if you're gonna get the number one pick, you want it to be last year with Cooper Flag, this year with your choice of
Yep.
Devonta, Peterson, so on. You don't want it to be 2 years ago where the Wizards finished second, actually,
Yep.
drafted the player they wanted in Alex Sarr at 2, and Atlanta, near a playoff team, won the lottery
Yep.
and finished
Chose wrong.
first
They chose
and
wrong.
drafted Reese Hachey, who so far has done not a lot.
Right. So that's where I wanted to pick up with you, right? Is the pressure is on the front office now. The pressure is on the front office of the Wizards to not choose the wrong player, but a player that they can use as a cornerstone to continue to building in a direction that they're going and they can be competitive. Like
Mm-hmm.
no more of this 12-win season, right?
Yeah.
So in your opinion, which way would you go? Would you go AJ or would you go
I mean, right now, I would lean towards keeping the pick, which there's a lot
mhm,
of speculation about that. And I would very much lean towards AJ DeBonsa. Now, look, I know Darren Peterson's a really, really good player. I don't fully believe the whole creatine overload thing. Not at a basketball powerhouse juggernaut like Kansas, that he was ingesting so much creatine that it caused all of these cramping issues, and therefore for him to miss all or part of 11 games or whatever it was. I think there's still something missing there. I
mhm.
don't quite exactly know what it is. Maybe we'll find out more over the next month or so. But I would say this pick, I mean, DeBonsa, like people say, is the next Tracy McGrady. Um, I mean, I hate putting labels on a guy like that, but all I know is this: he can shoot the three, he can take you off the dribble, he can win on contested dribbles. He's not just a pop and stop and pop type player, meaning he can work you down and shut you down or get
Mhm.
his shot off in traffic with the basketball. He's not like ball reliant in that you've got to get it to him in order for him to get his shot off, if that makes sense.
That
Whatever
makes
that
sense. That
basketball
makes sense.
terminology
I
is.
always look at it like a person like Rip Hamilton. Rip Hamilton ran so much, and then by the time he got the ball, the defenders they didn't know if he was going to the rim, if he was going to stop and pop, if he was going to dribble drive.
Right.
Okay, I get it.
And Rip, correct me if I'm wrong, Rip ran a lot of like looping screens. Like Reggie
Yes,
Miller was the master of that, right?
yes.
Running looping screens. But Rip did that a bunch too. I don't know if I haven't seen enough of that part of his game yet. And certainly I'm going to learn more over the next month or so. But I guess my point is you get him the basketball, whether he brings it up or whether you get it to him at the top of the circle, at the top of the key, or wherever, and he can break you down off the dribble. And it's not just, okay, always going to the basket and always trying to bully you over and get around you. It's dribble, 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 in, create a little space, boom, get your shot up in
Right.
traffic. That's what I've seen so far out of him. Now he came in 6'8.5", I think it was. I ideally you would love for him to have been 6'9", 6'9.5". Not that big of a deal. He's got a tremendous vertical.
And he's still young, right?
Yeah,
He
I
still
mean,
may have a couple of more inches to grow.
I have a hard time thinking he's going to. I mean, he may not be great, but I think there's less boom or bust with him than there is with Peterson. Now, the one guy that intrigues me a lot
Mm-hmm.
is Caleb Wilson. That guy intrigues me a lot. So if they were going to trade down, that's the guy that I would hope that they could get. But by trading down, unless it's after the draft picks are actually made, you don't control enough of the atmosphere. You have complete control right here and right now. Do not screw it up.
Right. Right.
Do not screw
Absolutely.
up what you worked so
Hard to get.
tirelessly
Yeah.
to get. I mean, you put on arguably the worst 3 year phase of basketball that you could possibly put on, maybe of all time. Maybe the Sixers, maybe the Pistons were worse. I mean, we could break down all the numbers from now until pigs fly. They've been really bad. They earned that ultimate control, right? By
Right.
being so bad. So don't give it up, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I for one think that they should stop, stay and pick at the number one spot, and stick to your plan of building through the draft. You got your pick, and let's go. Let's keep building, and then we maybe attract some free agents, trade a couple pieces off,
Yep.
get some more things that way. Um, I do want to talk about Peterson. He, of course, is at the combine, right? Along with AJ DeBonsa, all the top draft picks that are
Mhm.
there. Do you believe that the medical, when they get their hands on him, they'll be able to figure out what was going on with him? And do you trust the Wizards medical staff if they do choose to go that route?
I hope so. Um, I want to believe so. I don't know so. Um, as I mentioned earlier, it's hard for me to sit here and go, oh, that whole charade, or whatever you want to call it, was about ingesting too much creatine, overdosing on creatine, right? I'm not saying that didn't trigger things and whatever, but did it trigger anxiety? Did it trigger a not a softness, but a nervousness, if you will, of I can't trust my body and my mind is too strong. I don't know what it is, Peck, but the bottom line is there's something about that whole entire drama and excuse and story that I don't quite get. And oh, by the way, I was thinking about this. Not too many people from Kansas that I remember rushed out of their way to defend him, right? Like
Right.
to strongly, fiercely defend him. So much so that Dick Vitale, who is going through medical hell, right? As we
Right.
all know for many years. And Dick Vitale is Mr. College Basketball and Mr. I don't say anything bad about anybody, to the point where he was calling out Darren Peterson and
Yes.
questioning whether Darren Peterson and Kansas have just got to end this, right? Dick Vitale. Now, here's how this works, Pick. Dick Vitale wasn't doing that on his own,
Yeah, I don't think so either. Cause,
okay?
'cause he
So,
doesn't he doesn't do he doesn't do that. He
right,
doesn't.
right. So you could put two and two together and kind of figure out probably who he was talking to. And maybe they just were completely asleep at the wheel. That's hard for me to believe.
Maybe he was getting bad advice from his team, because don't forget, this NIL money is different now. It makes
Yep.
people act a little differently. They stay a little longer in college, for on the football side. Keep collecting these checks because maybe you're not going to make it to the NFL, and then you got to think when you get to the NBA, it's even fewer roles. I mean, if you're not lottery, you could be a two-way player playing overseas. You could be anything. So maybe they're trying to protect him, and this creatine thing was the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps like I don't know how they just discovered it recently and how they had no answers for anything when everybody was asking all the questions. Um,
Yeah,
on
yeah,
top of that, you just like figure what is he like 2.5 inches shorter, I believe it is.
yep.
Um, and to me,
He's still a walking bucket, though. He's still a
yeah,
walking bucket.
yeah, but to me, I think Peterson is going to be a little bit more dependent on the longer range game
Hmm.
than Dabonsa, who is going to again work his way down towards the back. He can shoot the three,
Okay.
but Dabonsa, I think, is going to break you down a little bit more.
Okay,
Peterson can get to the rack. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just thinking that Peterson's game in the NBA might be more reliant on outside shooting and specifically 3-point shooting than I would typically like.
okay. So if let's take the top three players in this here draft, right? Because the Wizards will definitely have a problem with scoring, and we don't want to be like Kate Cunningham and Detroit Pistons right now. If K's not scoring, nobody is, right?
Yeah.
So you take the current Wizards roster, and which player would you go to add for the points? Because you need points to win in the NBA. You need stops, of course, and I think
Mm-hmm.
the Wizards have done a decent job of getting players to protect the rim. If you go with the Bonza, then you have a six, what is it, 6'11", um,
No,
6'11", a 6'9", and
well, he
six.
was like 6'9" to 6'9.5", I think,
Right.
is what he came in at.
So, but you still have Anthony Davis. You still have
Yep.
um,
Alex Sarr.
Alex Sarr. So
Yep.
that's a front line that nobody really wants to see with all that height and
Yeah.
length.
Look, I've been critical of some of the things that are going on with, the Wizards and how they've operated over the last 3 years. And, the Anthony Davis situation warrants a lot of watching, because we don't truly know if he wants to be here. Um, Even the Trey Young situation still has to be monitored, right? Because
Yes,
we all know he
absolutely.
wants to be here, but he's got a player option. It hasn't been officially elected, and he probably wants a long-term extension, right? And do you give it to him? Do you not give it to him? But I can't get my mind off of, if Anthony Davis is here, a front line of Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr, and AJ DeBonsa on opening night with presumably Trey Young and Trey Johnson, right? Being in the backcourt.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to bring Keyshawn George, Riley, Bub Carrington, if he's still here, which I'm not sure if he will be, um, and who am I forgetting? Um, Trying to remember who else I'm forgetting, but you get the point. Like, now you have um, a really athletic, good defensive, but a good mix of potentially explosive offense. If AD is in the lineup and say he's playing the 5 and Sarr's playing the 4 and DeBonsa's playing the 3, you know. Now, I mean, could you see another? Could you see a different version than that? Sure, I guess. I mean, I guess I could see Sarr coming off the bench, but number 2 overall pick. When he's healthy, I need him out there. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Most definitely. And I like your I like your suggestion too, because then we could go away from Trey. We can go away from Trey and have a real point guard that's going to make an effort in playing some defense as well.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
only just distributing the ball and things like that, but making everybody better on the offensive
I mean,
side. They also
Trey
can play some
Trey
defense.
Young is a really good like playmaker, and he'll get
Yes.
you 10 assists a game. The problem is he's not a great defender, and you know he can sometimes be a shoot first, play, set up everybody else next kind of guy. So it'll be interesting to see them work that out.
All right. Let's switch over to the NFL. All right, so Roos, this is my first time having you on in a while. Right after rookie minicamp here, Sonny Styles and the rest of the guys got out there. They did their thing. Who are you most impressed with so far? I mean, it is just rookie minicamp.
Right.
But so far, which one of the rookies has your attention and has your eye?
Well, I mean, besides the obvious, Sonny Styles, who looks like he glides more than runs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At his size, athleticism, we know the vertical, we know the long step, we know how smart, IQ, how well raised, how mature, all of that he is. The player that I'm most intrigued by, just just on a short-term basis, and that I can't wait to get boots on the ground to see practice every day when the whole squad is there, is Antonio Williams, right? Because
Yes.
they are really counting on him to be essentially that 1A to Terry. Now, maybe I think that's too rich to ask him or expect that of him right away, but maybe he can get to that point halfway through the season. I don't know. But because they are, I mean, I was next to Adam Peters after the third round of the draft, that Friday night of draft weekend, in the auditorium at the team facility, right next to him. A small group of us were just chit-chatting with Adam after his press conference and after he said a lot of this. But he was so adamant, pun intended, so adamant, pick that Antonio Williams can win from the outside, that, you know, like when somebody has that kind of conviction off the record, if you will, or not in a press conference setting, I guess.
Okay.
When he was so adamant about that specifically. And then you go back and you watch some of the tape, right? And 2024 and 2023, he was much better at it than in 2025 when
But
he
their
was
team in
also
2025 was totally different. No football season is the same. Look at
right.
Ohio State.
Right.
They win a national championship the year before. Then they come back and they can't beat Indiana, right? And then
Right.
so
And
I
Williams
get
was
it.
and Williams was hurt too. I mean, he
Yeah.
was playing through, something. So I don't know. I mean, like, you'll remember this. Remember when Terry was drafted in the third round out of
Yes.
Ohio State?
Yep.
What was the book on him?
No speed.
Well, yeah, but the book on him as a player was best special teams player in the
Oh
draft.
yes.
I think he's played like 5 snaps on special teams in his career.
Yeah.
Like people
Fresh
get
Way said he called him and
evaluations.
was like, I can't wait to play special teams with you. He said, I haven't played one snap with you.
Right. People get evaluations wrong all the time, and maybe Adam Peters will be proven to be wrong on Antonio Williams. I don't know, but I'll take that. I'll take the words that I heard right in front of my face, off camera, right in front of my face. I'll take those words, the conviction in his voice that he could specifically win on the outside and on the inside. And I just kind of wonder, maybe they got their next Terry McLaurin there.
I hope so. Now, I'm not going to say the wide receiver room is complete, and I'm not discounting Luke McCaffrey. I'm not discounting Jalen Lane. Right? I'm not discounting De'Ami Brown. But I'm going to ask a question that Commanders fans have been going back and forth with all year. Okay, and I'm just going to give you a choice between the two, and you can tell me why you would choose this one over the other one. All right, Brandon Ayuk or Stephon Diggs, which would you choose?
I would choose Stephon Diggs any day of the week and 15 times on Sunday.
There we go. That's all there's
I mean,
to say.
85 catches, 1,000 plus yards.
Yep.
I want to say 7 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, in the regular season last year. I mean, listen, does Stephon Diggs have the same explosiveness, vertical explosiveness that he used to have? No.
But what he needed, see, the thing about it is Stephon, Terry, and then Williams, and you
Right.
can say Brown.
Yes.
You can take Brown in. You could
Yes.
you could put McCaffrey in. You can put.
I think Van Jefferson
Jalen
has
Lane.
the ability to beat people over the top. I've seen that throughout his career. Now, whether he's still that same player or not, I don't know. And that's the point. You don't need Stephon Diggs if that's
to be
the
the
player.
old Stephon Diggs.
Right, exactly. Now, do you want wiggle? Do you want some pop? Do you want, yeah, of course. But let's be clear, Stephon Diggs was not released in New England because he couldn't play anymore.
Right.
I mean, his cap number from a terrible contract that they signed with him, I think was going to be like $19 million or $20 million or something like that. And some people might say, well, that's nothing for a number one receiver. Well, yeah, I mean, all things considered, but I would say that, when you have the legal issues that he had, which were legally cleared up last week, but not NFL cleared, when you have that you're facing and you don't have that big time ability to stretch a defense anymore, 19 $20 million might be too much. And ultimately it was for New England, right? And so I don't blame them for moving on. I would say this. I'm not a Stephon Diggs guy, never really have been. I think he's a problem in terms of team culture and all that stuff, right? Buffalo, Minnesota, they both got rid of him because they couldn't take him anymore, right? They couldn't deal with him anymore. Now, maybe he's matured a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. But I will tell you this. If you're, again, and I've said this on the radio show 1,000 times over, I'd rather take him than Ayuk because Ayuk is not only a complete piece of mystery meat when it comes to the psychological, mental, like
Pause,
where he's
Rooster.
at,
You
but we
can't
don't
just say
even know.
mystery meat like that and act like we didn't hear you.
I mean, what is he?
I mean, for me, what he is he is a person that hasn't caught a pass in the NFL in a year and a half.
Well,
And
that's the
I don't
point.
trust that. I don't
Well, that's the
trust that.
point. He's a complete mystery physically, mentally, emotionally, in every which way.
Yeah,
A
if you just
complete
want Jaden
mystery.
to have a friend, let's go get some of his old high school teammates. But
Yeah,
no, I don't need him to be on
yeah,
the roster
yeah,
to come out and try to play. That's not
yeah.
what I need.
Yeah,
So
and,
for
and
me,
and
it's
no
Stephon
offense,
Diggs.
I don't need Jaden to have his baby bop or from the kids show Barney or anything like that. I mean I don't need that. Look, you want Jaden to be as comfortable as you possibly can. Jaden will be fine developing relationships that he already has. Number one, and number
Hmm.
two, um, you know, who I mean, if you bring in Diggs, I'm sure they'll find a way to get along.
Yeah, they
Maybe they
will.
won't be best buddies. If now Jawan Jennings is off the market,
He's off.
I still wouldn't go Tyreek Hill. I mean, to
That
me,
again, another horrific injury. I
yeah,
don't need that. I just saw
yep,
Stephon Diggs play
I agree.
what 17, 18 games last year.
I
He
agree.
caught 85 balls. If his productivity does drop down, maybe he's catching 75 balls.
I agree.
With the talent that we have with Nick Cross and Terry and Williams and De'Ami Brown catching his normal 10 to 15 balls a year, we should be okay.
I think they're fine. I think
I,
they're fine. I want nothing to do with Brandon Ayuk.
I
Brandon
got you.
Ayuk can go replace George Pickens with the Cowboys.
So Al has a question for you about this his first game, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Um, he's a Cowboys fan. I'm not trying
Yep.
to lead the witness or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure you want the Giants to win this opening game, right, Rooster?
Well, Al. I mean, like, so I talked about this game on the radio because my two producers,
Or
one's a
Cowboys and
Cowboys fan
Giants?
and one's a Giants fan, right? So we
Right.
were talking about this exact scenario today. I think the Cowboys have done a nice job rebuilding their defense. Now, are they going to be a lights out defense? Of course not. But they're going to be better than they were last year. There is no doubt about that.
We have
And
to.
to me, the Giants are going to be like, there's going to be a lot of excitement for the Harbaugh era to start and being at home. And sure, they beat the Cowboys to end the regular season last year and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that the Giants can't compete. I'm not saying that the Giants won't, give them but I'd be surprised if the Cowboys don't win that game. And I know we're 4 months away from it, but to me, the Cowboys are the much more settled team on both sides of the football. And really special teams too, because they gave Aubrey all the money and the Giants are a little bit of a mess at field goal at place kicker.
Yeah, I would agree with most of what I would pretty much agree with everything you said. It's I do expect. I think we're a better team heading into the season than the Giants are, but the Giants are a wild card. I mean, it's always that team you don't know. Does the coach make a difference? Brian Dable, a great guy, but didn't turn out to be a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that the Giants carry that wild card factor because they've have an abundance of talent, more of an abundance of talent from drafting than any other team in our division. Over the last 10 years, they've picked pretty much in the top 5 or 10 almost every year.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Al. Hold on. I gotta help you out with something.
sure.
Rooster's a Buffalo Bills fan. He covers the Washington
Go
Commanders in
Joe
the
Brady.
NFC East.
Go Joe
So,
Brady. Go Brady.
so let's
Stop pride.
let's let's
Wait, Well, I mean, so Pick, I expected you to go through the whole roll call there, because I get teased on my own radio show that I'm a Bills fan, a Giants
A
fan, a
Giants
Jets fan, a
fan.
Commanders
Yep.
fan, an Eagles fan. I
Chris,
mean, you
Chris,
know,
I understand. I was a Cowboys fan, a Steelers fan, and a Bills fan. So
there you
I
go.
understand.
Al
There you go.
chooses whichever team's going to the playoff.
Well. No, it had nothing to do with the playoffs. It's my allegiances. I tell you that all the time. Now, saying that, I am a Bills fan this year still. Joe Brady, former William Mary guy, coaching still. I've been following him ever since he left William Mary, even when he was at LSU. I think he's been a hot candidate to be a head coach for a long time. I think it was kind of funny that he replaced the guy that brought him in, fellow William Mary alum, Sean.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't.
William and Mary took a little bit of a setback this year, right? Because Tomlin left too.
Tomlin left, like I said.
But now Brady, back in the fold. And who's the other one that's a William and Mary guy?
Well, Dan Quinn coached at William Mary when I was there. So
right. But isn't there another head coach that's a William and Mary guy?
Not head coach.
No?
Not head coach. Brian Daboll was, of course, he coached at William. A lot of guys have coached at William Mary.
Yeah.
Or been with but alumni is just those two. And of course, and Marv Levy, of course. But like to tell those stories.
Yeah, I don't think Marv's coaching any games anytime
No,
soon.
no, but he was one heck of a coach to be on the sideline with.
He was. I covered Marv, off and on for a couple of years when I was living and working in Buffalo and kind of getting my start in radio. So those were some great Bills teams, obviously, even though they fell short in the Super Bowls. I mean, to get there 4 years in a row, and I realize it's a different game now, right? So you'd almost never see it, but they didn't have. I can't remember what they used to call Plan A and Plan B free agency. I think that may have been around back then. I can't honestly remember if that came right after that run or not. But yeah, I mean, what an amazing accomplishment. By the way, the Bills guys are going to open up against the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football. Yeah, the new stadium. So excited to see that, and I like having spent so many years of my life in Buffalo. I hated the Bills when I went to college there. I love the Bills now, and certainly a lot of that has to do with Josh Allen and just a different perspective in life. I would love to see. I would love to see the Bills and whoever. I mean, of course, the Commanders would be great. Great for business, great for sure.
Yeah. He knows the business.
That would be a pretty
that content game.
Yeah.
So you stole my next question, but here's my last question for you. So we know the opponents, right? We know everybody's opponents. The thing is, you don't know which order you are going to play your games in, which absolutely makes your strength of schedule a little bit harder or a little bit weaker, depending on who you have early, who you have late. So my question, Rooster, London aside, right? For any team in the NFL, which game are you most looking forward to seeing? What two teams are you most looking forward to seeing in the NFL? You too, Al.
I mean, I'll say this from a Commander's perspective. I'll say I look forward to them going up against the Rams to see how they look in that game, right?
Okay.
Against a Matthew Stafford with a different defense and a much more aggressive defense. And who knows what Nakua and Devontae Adams will be at that point and when that game is and whatnot. And I would think that game would be a primetime game, but no idea. From a Commander's perspective, I would look at that. From a league-wide perspective, and it's mostly because I know what time slot it's going to be in. But guys, Thanksgiving Day in Dallas, Eagles, Cowboys.
Eagles-Cowboys is amazing.
When I think we know what most teams are.
And that's the second game. That's the second game.
Yeah.
That's usually the second game.
I mean, that's probably the game that right now I have circled on my calendar because we know more of what teams are. week one in Australia, I mean, we kind of know what the Rams and the 49ers are, but, I mean, everybody plays August and therefore September.
It's terrible.
A little bit different, right?
Yeah.
That Bills Detroit game on Thursday night to open up week 2 in the new stadium is going to be awfully intriguing. I would say Ravens Cowboys week 3 in Brazil is going to be real, and again, maybe this is just recency bias because I've seen when these matchups are. So I'm trying to think okay, by week 3, we should have some sort of an idea. But remember last year, right? The Giants came to FedEx Field or Northwest Stadium, looked terrible. Washington won, and then went on the road to Dallas and put up all
50.
sort 500 yards of offense
50.
and almost won that game in overtime, right?
Yes,
and then they fell apart after that. So, I mean, we don't even know what these teams are going to look like in week 3, week 4, if they're going to be similar to that in weeks 13, 14, 15.
Absolutely. That's where the injuries come into play. Al, what you got circled so far?
Oh man, if I say out of our division, I'm definitely looking forward to the Rams Seahawks again. All those games last year were fantastic.
Yep.
All 3 of them, and I think it had a lot to do with how the season played out. Like I said, our division is such a toss up this year. I don't know what the Eagles are. I don't know what our defense is. I don't know how does Jaden bounce back for the Commanders. I don't know what the Giants are going to become. Like I said, they're the wild card too with the new coach, new leadership, a whole bunch of talent, but never seemingly made it put together. So any division game with us, I always look forward to beating you all. So that's a game to look forward.
That is not going to happen this year.
I did it happen twice last year? Twice last year, right? Yeah, twice last year.
6-7.
My daughter will love you now.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like I said, I'll say that just for the chat and for the sake of the show. I definitely look forward to beating you all wherever it may be.
Well, I look forward to seeing Minnesota play this year versus the Chicago Bears. And the reason I'm looking forward to Minnesota versus the Chicago Bears is because I'm interested in who the quarterback is going to be.
Well, I think it's going to be Kyler Murray. I just want what Kyler Murray we will see.
Which version? Yes. Yeah. So I went out of the division and I went Minnesota versus the Bears. I think the Bears have the inside track on winning that division, followed by Green Bay closely. No, Bears. Don't forget Detroit. I'm sorry, Detroit.
You're making a strong argument because there's a strong argument. I don't know how you can answer for me on this, Chris. There's a strong argument to be made that Minnesota technically has the best roster of any team in the NFC.
But what are you without a quarterback? You can't do anything without a quarterback.
This is what I'm saying. They were 9-8, I believe, last year.
Yeah,
with JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
and Carson Wentz.
And McCarthy missed a lot of time, which is part of the problem. They should be better, right? Now, again, they've taken some losses on their defensive line. They traded away Jonathan Grenard. They cut Jonathan Allen. They let Javon Hargrave go. So they, it's going to be, and of course, they lost Durante Jones, their secondary coach. To the Commanders. And so it'll be interesting to see how they look on defense, and Harrison Smith, of course.
Yeah, he's gone. He retired.
Yeah, so, it'll be really interesting to see that. Now, all eyes will be focused on Kyler Murray. I would expect Kyler Murray to be really, really good the first half-ish of the season. My question is what happens in the back half of the season when Kyler Murray wears down a little bit and when some of the luster is worn off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see.
We'll see what kind of quarterback whisperer. If Kevin McConnell is truly the quarterback whisperer that he's been shown to be in the past, reviving so many other quarterbacks' career, being the last year's Super Bowl champion,
Seattle.
For Seattle.
With Sam Darnold, yeah.
All right. Chris, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Anything you want to get off your chest? Any last minute things you got to say?
Guys, not you guys, but I would say anybody that listens to my radio show or follows me on Twitter, and I appreciate everyone that does. take it easy on the old man. I
Uh,
got some strong opinions. Sometimes I'm trying to poke the bear. Sometimes I'm trying to get under your skin. Sometimes I'm trying to play a little bit of a, maybe the wrestling fan in me comes out too often,
Oh,
right? And I have a hard time reining that in. Be easy on the old man.
wait. I can't let you leave without asking this question. My new favorite person in wrestling right now is Obafemi.
Love Obafemi. I had him on the show pick
I
in
know.
mid-December.
Yeah. I love Oba.
I
It's
mean,
just the strut that the man has, the power, the agility.
I mean, he's got it. He's got the total package. I don't know how long it lasts because I don't ever see him being, the kind of personality that usually lends to superstardom,
Right.
i.e., Stone Cold, Rock, Shawn Michaels, that category.
It's got to come out. He's got to
But
find it
because
if he wants to be.
because he's so physically dominant and because he caught on like wildfire and, because right now WWE fans are looking for again that freshness. Um, I think he's going to have a mega run here. It's just a matter of how long it lasts.
Yeah. Yeah, so Al doesn't know what we're talking about, but his favorite person is Jade
yeah,
Cargill. Cargill. No, that's mine. I
yeah,
like Bianca.
yeah.
Bianca, she's pregnant now.
Yes, she
He
is.
he likes Storm Jade Cargill. So
Jade Cargill's great too. I
she's
mean,
amazing.
she's married to Brandon Phillips, the former
Yeah,
Cincinnati Reds All-Star second baseman. I think he also played for the Atlanta Braves, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Yeah, she's married to him. So Jade Cargill. So and obviously, yeah, Bianca's pregnant. Gotten
Her and
had
Montez
her
Ford.
and Montez Ford on the show a number of times. So it's kind of interesting. I know there's a lot of criticism right now for WWE, but the point in me going to that is, sometimes I do like to do a little bit of a theatrical performance to poke the bear.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not always I'm not always
Sometimes you just
straight
gotta.
faced and Kevin Sheehan.
Sometimes you gotta stick to the script. Sometimes if you decide to walk in the studio and play heel, you gotta play heel for the day.
Exactly,
You gotta do
exactly.
what you gotta do.
I
Thank you,
just
Chris.
I just got to hope that they understand it.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I really, really do appreciate you joining me, man.
Appreciate
And
you
I know
guys.
you're so busy. Listen, Chris has best buddies that he does. I need to make sure that I stay in contact with you. So whenever you're doing that fundraiser that you do,
Yep,
that we can get that out there for
I
you.
appreciate that.
Because I really, really appreciate you and how much you talk about your son Tyler and everything like that.
I
So
appreciate that.
yes, sir. So make sure we stay in contact. So when that
Absolutely,
best
will do.
buddies comes
Thank
up
you.
again, we can do it. All right.
Hey Chris,
Thank you, guys.
Chris, please remember, if they didn't love you, you couldn't draw so much emotion out of them. So
It's a fair point. I,
yes, sir.
again, I very much appreciate that. Both of you guys appreciate you.
Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, man. Definitely.
Thank you.
You got it.
That's Chris Russell. You can catch him on the Team 980 Monday through Friday. He follows Kevin Sheehan, um, uh, and leads right into before the Burgundy and Gold show at the end of the day. So Chris
Maroon and
Russell's one of
yellow.
my guys.
Maroon and
Uh,
yellow. Maroon and yellow, man.
Burgundy and Gold.
Gold is for champions. I keep telling you that, man.
Burgundy and Gold. Burgundy and Gold. Burgundy and Gold, Al. Okay, Al, let's talk about this thing that we're going to do next week. Oh, let's talk about this thing. So we got this thing, and I want all of y'all to pay attention, right?
It's
All
very confusing.
in the
So pay
chat. It's
attention.
not
And
really
it's very
confusing.
confusing. It can be, but listen right to the specifics that Pick is going to outline and
Right.
what you're doing. But go ahead.
Okay. So we're gonna do this thing called one player away, right? That could be one player away from making the playoffs. We're talking NFL here. One player away from making the playoffs, one player away from competing for a championship, right? This one player that you can add to your team. Now, here are the rules, and this is what Al's talking about. We'll take the NFC East as the example, okay? So we have four teams in the NFC East: the Dallas Cowgirls, the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Ladies, and the Washington Commanders.
I don't
We have
know
those:
who was the first team you mentioned.
the Dallas Cowgirls, the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders.
Caboose.
Right. Commanders. Right. So they are in the NFC East. Right. So all of us will choose a team. We'll get assigned a team. Choose a team. Whatever. And we can get to put one player on this team, but that player can only come from the opposite conference, same division. So that would be the AFC
East.
East for, and it doesn't matter if all of us choose a player off of the same team. We could choose a different team. It doesn't matter. They can be offense, they can be defense. But this player is meant to get these other four teams over the hump. That's why it's called one player away. We'll do this next week, and I believe we are going to start next week. The division that we're going to start next week with is the AFC North. We're starting with the black and blue division.
Black and blue.
That's the black and blue. So we're gonna jump right into that next week with the AFC North. So you guys should start looking for the player to add from the NFC North.
Got a lot of talent in the NFC North.
It's a lot of talent in the NFC North to add to a very talented division in that AFC North. Come on now, like y'all know which teams we talking about pillaging and plundering, right? Like we just talked about it. We're talking about the Detroit Lions. We're talking about the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers. We're talking about the Chicago Bears. Um, and what's the last team in that division?
Now, pick. Let me ask you this,
Yes, sir.
just to clarify the rules. Once a player is used from the other team, can is he off the board for another team?
Okay.
An example for that being, let's use what you said, the AFC North and the South, AFC North and the NFC North. Let's say for some reason you have Baltimore. You said you wanted to add Justin Jefferson
Yep.
from the NFC North to the AFC North Ravens.
Okay.
Would he would
So,
he be would he be off the board for the rest of the teams?
but let's think about that, right? So now the next team up would be the Cincinnati Bengals, right? The
Mhm.
Cincinnati Bengals. Do you really need to add Justin Jefferson
No.
to the Cincinnati? But what I
He-
would do is I would go to Green Bay and I would add Micah Parsons.
Okay. But that's no. But see, I know there's plenty of players to add.
Hmm.
My question is, does it eliminate that person? Can I
No,
say,
it doesn't because the Cleveland Browns could absolutely probably use Justin Jefferson,
okay, that's what I want to know.
right?
Okay.
The
So you can
Pittsburgh
use it.
Steelers. So if I'm doing this and I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers and it's just going through it, whatever. We're gonna mock this up right now, right? So the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe they probably are maybe a quarterback away, right? So I look in the I look in the North, the NFC North. I see Caleb Williams there. Um,
Not a good quarterback.
yes, yeah.
With
I mean,
Jordan Love.
you got Jordan Love there. You got oh my God, why is his name escaping me now for Denver? I'm sorry,
Daniel,
Detroit for Detroit for
I have no clue, Danny, why. I have no clue, Danny, why your guy to pick is so disrespectful to our boys. But he does need to apologize. And don't you worry, if he doesn't apologize, we'll make sure he apologizes later this season. So
That's not true. That ain't gonna happen
don't you
either.
even worry. When we spank that tail,
No,
you
that
will.
there will
You'll
be
have
no
to.
spanking of no
You
tails.
you you'll have to apologize, like
No,
you
no,
did.
no, no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Al. That's just how the cookie crumbles, man. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
Your mama saying what disrespect gets you, right?
So if that works for everybody, Al, does that make sense? Does that one
Hey,
player away thing?
it's your game. We're playing. It's your
We playing by
creation.
my rules. We playing by my rules.
Playing by your rules. You set the rules.
All right. So the division I'm a little bit afraid for is the NFC South
Well,
because you got to choose from the AFC South.
you know, a lot of talent in the AFC South too.
There's a lot of talent there. Yeah, there's a lot
Offensively
of
and
talent.
on the, especially defensively on the Houston team, offensively on the
Oh,
Jacksonville
oh,
team,
that defensive team on Houston is
offensively on the
amazing.
Jacksonville team. I mean,
Indianapolis and
Indianapolis has some other stuff.
Indy has talent as well. Jacksonville, yeah.
Tennessee,
Tennessee still getting it. They still getting it together. They're still getting it together.
so.
Hey, look at the quarterbacks in the. Remember last year, the NFC South was a division we only knew that there was maybe one good quarterback in the NFC South. But who knew that Shuck was going to turn out to be a player?
I think he's still to be determined, but he's definitely trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and then look at the emergence of Carolina's quarterback there, like
Bryce Young,
Bright.
I've always been a fan of Bryce.
But it took some time. It took some time.
But still, once again,
He
it's
had to
still under construction.
yeah, he
But
had the
he,
training wheels on, and
yeah,
then Baker had a baby. He got buried, had a baby, and that does something different for a man,
yeah,
right?
I
He got a
understand.
little Maverick to watch out for now.
Yeah,
So, and then you look at Atlanta. Will they get their quarterback issues together this year? Uh, they got Tua, they got Penix,
who starts for that team? Tua Penix.
um, the emergency quarterback.
Who starts for that team?
I just answered.
I said between Tua and Penix. Who starts?
Well, I think Penix
The
still.
emergency quarterback.
I think he's not going to be ready for the opening of the season.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
I don't think he is. We'll have to talk to Sid about that. So, Al, NBA playoffs are going on, and
My Lakers got swept last night. I'm a little bit.
man, they got the broom pulled out on them real quick, didn't they?
1, 2, 3, Cancun. Yes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. LeBron's probably out of the country right now. Him and Savannah, and and they, I don't know,
The
but do
Lakers.
you think LeBron comes back?
Well, the Lakers, according to Matt Palinka, Matt Palinka, Lord have mercy. According to Palinka, he's giving LeBron the space and the time he needs to make a decision on his future. He has made it known to him. He says that he is wanted back by the Lakers. Now, the part that's missing from that statement is how badly they want him back and what they want him back for. So, and Rob Pelinka is saying that we want him back. Well, I think you do want him back. I mean, your team is better with LeBron, but what do you want? What is LeBron willing to take, and what role would he play in this new emerging Laker Luca team?
Yeah, but is it really Luca's team when Luca doesn't play any defense? Luca's hurt.
Stop it. It is Luca's team. They've made that very clear. My thing is this: we cannot afford to pay Austin. Let's say we being like it's my money, but the Lakers cannot afford to pay Austin Rivers max money because I don't think you can build a championship team with your two best players, quote unquote best players, being defensive liabilities.
Hmm.
I don't know. If anybody paid any bit of attention to that series, whether you're a Laker fan, OKC fan, or whatever, there's a drastic disparity between level of talent, 1 through 10, on OKC's team and the Lakers roster, 1 through 10. You have so many holes to fill. What does signing LeBron get you closer? Is my question. And that
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not sure. I mean, you cannot expect LeBron to put up 25 and 10 assists and 8 boards every every day, every night out.
well,
He's
in a reduced role, you may, but does that get you close to winning a championship? Is the question.
I mean, think about it. Once you get through that first round, you get more time off when it
Then
comes
you
to the
less time,
playoff. When it's no, you get more,
less. The games go to every other day after the first round because there's more
and
games.
and, and you still have the travel day.
Well, you only get one travel. Think about this. Since the second round has started, it's been a game every other day in every series. They don't get the 2 or 3 days that they got in the first round. You
Okay.
would go 1, 2. You go game 1 and 2 a day between. Then you would go 3 days between games 2 and 3, and then 1 day between 3 and 4. Then another 3 games between
Well, it's
5.
not a back to back. It's
Right.
not a back to back.
But no games are
So
perfect back to back. No.
yeah, it's not a back to back. So they will have a chance to grab their legs, recover, and 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 they're not practicing at this point in time. They're just
Yeah.
They know what the new game plan
Film study,
is.
film study should have been,
Film study, shoot around, keep your legs, and we go. So
get you some rest. Stay out the
it's all
club.
it's all about getting them to the playoffs and then letting them go there. And then that's where your coaching comes in with your game plans and things of that nature. So Al, remember I told you guys that the team that I was afraid of in the East was the New York Giant. I'm sorry, the New York Knicks.
Had this team in the playoffs right now.
And
Not,
I told you, I
not
said, because
winning wise, because the OKC is the hottest team record wise because they're 6
neither
and
one of them has lost. Well, New York did lose a game, but
no,
OKC,
New
yeah,
York.
OKC hasn't lost a game. They haven't lost a game, but what I said is coming true. I said these guys can get hot. They can start shooting the lights out, and I don't think nobody can stop them.
I'm gonna tell you what's about to stop them. This week layoff they're gonna have. If you're playing as good as New York is playing right now,
You don't want a
the
day off.
worst thing you can have is a week layoff. You want to continue with keep your rhythm, keep into your pattern of playing every other day, and you almost wish that the other series, which is tied 2-2, it would have been a sweep, or you somehow could just keep playing because you can't simulate game in practice.
Nope, you can't do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now we did talk about the Pistons and the Cavs. Um, Nobody is giving James Harden his flowers for not disappearing this year in the playoffs.
Well, see, that's where you have the narrative wrong. Listen to me, Vic. James Harden's disappearing act doesn't happen games. Usually the games 1 through 5.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
usually
It's
game
6 and 7.
7. Yeah, he's 6-7.
It's six and
That's
seven.
when he
It is.
starts
Yeah, you're
disappearing.
absolutely right. You know
Just
what? I
you
was
know,
wrong.
give it time. It could
Give
still
it
happen.
give it time. Give it time. Well, we're heading to game 5.
He's getting warm. Trust me, he's getting warm.
He's warming up the strip club right now.
Yes, he is. He's
He
probably
found
there right now.
he found some wings and some things that he likes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Lady A told me to tell you there are no fines today.
Well, good. I mean, I hope she had a wonderful Mother's Day, and maybe that's her gift to us
Yeah,
for the
no,
past
she said
weekend.
heavy fines is what she really said. She said there'll be heavy fines
That
today.
sounds like her, but I was just
But I told her, I said no fines. Got it, got it. She was, yeah, okay. So no fines. Okay, Al, we got one more thing to talk about here before we get out of here today. All right, so let me make sure I got this topic right here. Um, Rookie mini camps. Al, what did you learn about the Cowboys in their rookie mini camp?
I learned that I like the aggressive style that it seems that even though it's rookie players, that our new defensive coordinator is going to push in his schemes. Caleb Downs seems to be everything he was told us that he was, and that's a good thing. But like I said, the guys are just moving around a lot faster, a lot younger, and they're quicker. And granted, the rookie mini camp, so we haven't been able to bring the whole squad
The
together.
whole squad's not in yet. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
like the fact that we have a lot of young talent, young quality talent, and we
So
got two.
far.
We're gonna have two new starters, potentially that are rookies.
Okay, so for the Commanders, what I'm liking so far is the fact that in rookie minicamp, the coaches absolutely went after Sonny Styles. They were not afraid to put him in all kinds of pass drop places and things like that, and they attacked Sonny Styles to see what he can do, how fast he can recover, what he could absorb, what he could take in so fast. So they were absolutely going at Sonny Styles. Um,
We will too.
and
We
huh?
will be too.
Yeah, but the thing
We
is,
will be too. So trust me.
you
Tell them get ready.
tell them get ready.
Get
So
ready.
we're okay. You got it. You got it, Al. You got it. All right. So look, listen. That is going to be it for our show tonight. We will be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday with the schedule release, where we'll know who's playing where, what times, and things of that nature. And we should get a time for we should get a date and a time for Tennessee, Al.
Yes.
So we still want all y'all to come out, join us in Tennessee. I know a travel agent that'll be putting some packages out there. If you follow me on social media, you know exactly who I'm talking about. So looking forward to Tennessee. where our podcast, our whole podcast crew will be to cheer on our guy Julius Chestnut
And the Tennessee Titans.
and the Washington Commanders. Right. So we'll cheer on Julius and the Commanders. I think Al
No,
may have a seat on
no,
top of the stadium. I think
you will
they
not
they
be
already got
cheering
that seat.
the Commanders, the Commodes. That is for sure.
No,
But
no, Al. That's why you sitting on top of that stadium. That's exactly why your seat's gonna be up so high.
don't worry about my seat. I have a good seat to watch what goes on with you all. Trust me. When Tennessee shocks the world,
This seat will not
put the
shock the world.
Commodes where they flush the Commodes right back to DC.
We are looking forward to you guys coming out to Tennessee and hanging out with us so we can meet some of y'all face to face. We're gonna try to do a live podcast out in Tennessee. And we know some bands that will be out there playing too as well. So we got some things planned. So stay tuned. Tennessee is on our list of things to do. Plus, I know there are a couple of other podcasts that will be out in Tennessee as well. So it's going to be a big old fun fest for us Commanders fans and Al. And we got to get Al a cowboy hat while we're in Tennessee.
And drinks will be on Pick. So just order the
Lady
bar
A's credit card. There we
and
go.
tell them that Pick is paying for it. He got all
Hey,
his listeners.
and
Pick is
as I was,
promised by all his listeners who sent a special message during the show while you're there, a drink at the neighborhood bar. So let's run that bill
hey,
up on
listen, if
TikTok.
you show up to Tennessee and I'm there, yeah, I got you. I get you. Let's get a shot in. Let's get a shot. Let's get a drink. Let's do it. Let's do a two step. Let's do it all. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to sitting down, meeting more of y'all, talking to more of y'all face to face. So Tennessee's gonna be the place where we do that. But we'll see the whole entire schedule for the rest of the league. I can't wait, Al. Can't wait. So we'll see you all on Thursday, so we can look back at this NFL schedule. All right, Al. You know what time it is, man. So
I do.
let's say shouts out to my son, United States Air Force. First thing podcast is second to none. Come get some. Say it or say, go dogs. I say,
How about them?
raise hell.
Mm-mm.